Somebody said to me, "My child melts down when I take their tablet. Now what do I do?" Well, if you're asking now what, this is the video for you. I'm Nicholeen Peck. I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about how to help the child give up the tablet. In this video, I'm going to share a real story from a family's life, and then we're going to talk about why they melt down when that tablet gets taken away and what you can do to decrease or maybe even completely stop the meltdowns. A father I was speaking with a little while ago felt completely helpless and hopeless because his daughter was addicted to the tablet. He had to literally pry it out of her fingers in order to take it away, and he wondered if there was any hope for him. He started learning the skills and principles of self-government. He taught his child the 4 basic skills. He learned how and when to do proper corrections. He learned to not take it personally and not get angry and not engage in power struggles with the child, but to have a structure in place that was more firm than prying something out of somebody's fingers. And guess what? Things are different now. He doesn't power struggle with his child, and actually when he says, "Hey, I'm going to give you a no answer on your tablet time, we need to be done," she says, "Okay." She puts down the tablet and drops the subject. She learned the skill because he taught the skill. So often we stay reactive in our parenting. So often we end up engaging in these battles over the tablets, the phones, the TV, all of these technological devices because we go, "Oh no, that's a problem. They are way too into that. They won't stop. I've got to do something." We start acting out of fear, and this ends up making a power struggle happen. So let's talk about why do they melt down? Well, sometimes they melt down because they fear our fear. They feel that we're losing control, that we're worried, that we think the worst, that we don't know how to handle it, that we feel insecure with the situation. And so then they feel insecure and they start to melt down. Here's the other thing too, is just addiction, okay? Habits. Parents, do yourselves a favor. Don't introduce your children to screens early on. Don't show them the screens when they're babies. Don't give them the screens when they're having a tantrum. Don't do it. Allow them to learn the skills of calmness without being distracted. Parents that distract their children into good behavior end up creating a dependency upon the device to feel comfort. So it's like a stuffed animal. You're giving them a comfort object, something that stimulates them in some pleasurable way. And when you've recognized that you've created a monster, it's really hard to take it away because now they have a habit. And when someone has a habit, it's hard to break it without instilling something else in that place. So the way that we change a habit is by replacing that item or that moment with something else. What do you replace a screen with? See, here's the other thing, is that we're removing a tablet, and oftentimes parents are not replacing it with anything. They just tell the child, "Go play, go do something else." The child is now lost. The child feels anxiety. The child does not know what to do. So what do you replace it with? They're getting stimulated. They're having an interaction with maybe a game, an app, a video, something that they're doing on the device. How do you replace that in a healthy way? You have to be the stimulation. You have to be the thing that replaces the device. So when you remove the device, it needs to be replaced with you, talking with your child, reading with your child, playing with your child, working with your child, doing things with them so that they see that human interaction is more stimulating, more pleasurable, something that they should want more than the stimulation that comes from the brainless exercise of being in front of a screen. So teach your children, number one, they don't need a screen all the time. When they're in the car, don't turn the screen on. I know it seems like your life is easier, but they can learn to look out the window and count cars and count bushes and trees and look for, colors or whatever they're going to do. They can learn that stuff. Only on the very longest of trips should you turn on that screen, because they need to learn how to be patient, that they don't get instant gratification. Teaching delayed gratification takes time, and it requires a child learning a skill called accepting a no answer. When your child gets overstimulated by a device like the tablet, you need to know that that can lead to dysregulation. That's been proven. Overstimulation leads to dysregulation. So this is another reason why we need to take some time away from the devices. So let's talk about how to get the devices away from the child without having a meltdown. So first off, we want to teach our children the 4 basic skills, which are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. I've been talking about those. This book here, Porter Earns a Quarter, teaches the skill accepting no answers. So basically, when you're going to tell the child that it's time for us not to be on our tablet anymore, you're saying this is a no answer. So how wonderful would it be if you have already pre-taught ahead of time what a no answer is? They know the steps are to look at the person or the situation, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, and then drop the subject. What if they could say okay and drop the subject? Wouldn't that be great? That would solve the problem. So if you pre-teach them what the skill is, and then right before you give the no answer, you say, hey, I'm going to pre-teach you about something right now. I'm going to give you a no answer for something. Remember, these are the steps. And then you say, no, we can't do screens anymore right now. Okay. Chances are very high that you're going to hear okay or okay, may I disagree appropriately? Then they'll use their disagree appropriately skill, which is this book here, Page Takes the Stage. The 4 basic skills really do take care of 99% of the behavioral problems and can help you with those meltdowns. Now, obviously, you're going to need some skills of your own. I'd like to help you with that, but for those skills, let's watch a different video. If you watch my next video called How to Calm Digital Chaos and Raise Tech Responsible Kids, we will talk more about how to correct those tech problems when they occur.